Hey, it's Chris from chrisbeatcancer.com, and I'm doing a little video Q&A from my backyard in Memphis. It's a beautiful spring day. Today is April 11th, 2014, and I'm going to answer some of your questions, so let's get right into it. Okay, first question is from Julie, and she says, do you eat any sugar now? Struggling with this issue and would love to hear your take. Well, that's kind of a trick question because do I eat sugar? Yes, absolutely, because fruits and vegetables are rich in sugar. And every cell in your body needs sugar to thrive. So sugar is the primary fuel source for every cell and every function in your body. So yes, I eat sugar. But the vast majority of sugar I eat is from fruits. So processed sugar, white sugar, refined sugar, is very unhealthy, it's unnatural, and it's toxic to your body. And but the sugar found in fruit is amazingly designed to nourish your body. And so my best advice to someone who maybe struggles with sugar cravings, usually that's a reflection of stress. When you're stressed, your body raises cortisol, and cortisol tells your liver to dump sugar to give you energy, but then you have intense sugar cravings. So if you're having really intense sugar cravings, that may actually be a reflection of your stress level. And there may be some problems and issues and stuff in your life you need to resolve that are more important than just avoiding sugar, if that makes sense. But on a sort of a more superficial level, the best way to avoid eating processed sugar and sort of junk food sugar is not to buy it. Don't keep it in the house. I know my limitations. And that's why I had to stop buying junk food, because I know I'll eat it, or at least I'll be tempted to eat it, right? So instead, buy lots of fruit, buy sweet fruit, buy oranges, buy dates, buy figs, buy bananas, right? Buy cherries, buy fruit that is delicious and sweet and that you can eat instead of a Snickers bar or a cupcake or a brownie or whatever. So hopefully that helps. Now, I'm a 10-year survivor, and yes, occasionally I do indulge in what you would just call a typical dessert, right? We might go out to eat and I might get some kind of dessert, or I might have the occasional, I might steal the occasional organic cookie out of the pantry that my wife buys for our kids to have, as little treats every once in a while or whatever. But by and large, yeah, that is such a tiny fraction of my diet. It's just really not a daily thing. So anyway, hopefully that helps you. Okay, second question is from Matt, and several people asked this question. He said, remove the tumor or leave it and see if alternative treatments shrink it. I don't want to answer this question here because I made a whole video about this, and it's called Should You Have Surgery for Cancer? And I'll put a link to that video in the comment section, and also I'll stick one over right here. So watch that. Okay, third question. Someone is newly diagnosed. What's the first 3 things they should do? That is from Alicia. I made a video about that. And I will post a link in the comment section. And I'm getting my hands wrong. And right here, that's called What Every Cancer Patient Needs to Know. So watch that video. Okay. What's the best way, this is from Lisa, what's the best way to find out without going through a PET scan if you're now cancer-free? Okay, so there's a couple tests. Probably one of the best tests is the American Metabolic Laboratories test. And it's so Google American Metabolic Laboratories. When you go to their website, you'll see their cancer marker test. That's a great one. A lot of alternative natural kind of people use that test to monitor if they're not working with a conventional oncologist. If you're working with a conventional oncologist, obviously you want to monitor your blood work closely. I did it once a month for the first couple of years. You can have a CAT scan or a PET scan, but that's a lot of unnecessary radiation. A lot of cancer patients are not comfortable doing that. And so an MRI may be an alternative for you because that uses magnetic resonance imaging, which does not cause more cancer or make cancer cells more aggressive. So those are really the best options. There's one called the Navarro urine test that's popular, but I think the American Metabolic Laboratories test is more comprehensive and probably more accurate. Okay. Noel asks, any thought about diet and brain cancer? I'm transitioning to ketogenic. I'm not a big fan of the ketogenic diet, and the main reason is there isn't enough real survivor evidence that it works. And there are some published studies on rats where the ketogenic diet slowed the cancer growth and delayed it, but eventually the rats all still died. And I'm just not a big fan of the ketogenic diet. But there is a terrific interview with a girl that healed her brain cancer with a raw food diet, very similar to what I did, and I will post the link right there. I highly encourage you to watch that survivor story. It's terrific. That's Megan Shiro and her mom, literally a teenager who converted to a raw food diet to heal her brain cancer. I mean, it's just a phenomenal interview, phenomenal story. That's what I would go to first. Okay, next question is, let's see here. I'm having to click back and forth between the two windows. I'm a little disorganized. Okay, more on cannabis. Right, so I actually am about to post a terrific talk that was done by, and actually I may post that before you see this. So if I do, here's the link, by my friends Ian Jacklin and Joni Abbott, talking about sort of the latest in cannabis curing cancer, the research and some of the ideas that are out there and information you need to know. So I'll post that, attach that to this video. Jody, this is a great question from Jody. How do you handle naysayers? I had a huge recovery from chronic pain and migraine through real food. I love all your advice because I've experienced the power of real food. I've had a huge positive response from many, but sometimes I run across people that are actually offended at the notion that 19 doctors couldn't fix me, but real food could. So my advice to you is don't worry about those people. Help the people that want help. Focus on those people. There are always going to be people that think you're crazy or disagree with you, whatever, and wasting any time or energy or effort trying to convince someone or trying to argue with someone really is just that. It's wasting your time. And so, yeah, people attack me, they criticize me, they argue with me, and I don't have time for that. I don't have enough time to help all the people that actually want my help. So there's no way I'm going to waste time arguing or responding to someone unless I think my response might be helpful to other people. So, you just don't worry about it. You just don't worry about it. After a while, you just start to realize, what, some people are going to disagree with you, and you just don't care. So that's the way I deal with that. Emily asks, how did you get your doctors to agree to monitor you when you were clearly going against what they suggested, aka the standard protocol? This is really good, and it's really important. So I did not go back to the original oncologist who told me I was insane if I didn't do chemotherapy. That's the last time he ever saw me. But I found an integrative oncologist, the late Dr. Roy Page in Memphis, who completely supported my decision and worked with me. He monitored my blood work. He did order a few CAT scans along the way, and over a course of a few years. And he was just a godsend. And so my best advice is, typically if you're going against your doctor's advice, you're going to need to find a new doctor, and you approach them on common ground. You find another oncologist, you go meet with them, and you say, hey, here's my diagnosis, here's what I want to do, I'm changing my life, I'm changing my diet, I don't want to do chemo and radiation and surgery or whatever, and it's my life, this is what I want to do, will you work with me? I need someone that can monitor my blood work and maybe order some scans along the way. Will you work with me? That's the kind of conversation you want to have. But when you come to them on neutral territory like that, they're much more receptive to you. But if you try to stick with your original oncologist, you say, no, I'm not going to do what you want me to do. I'm going to do my own thing. It's kind of insulting to them, and they're not going to like it. And they will probably say, I can't work with you, or I can't treat you, or whatever, because it's, it kind of insults their pride, it insults their intelligence, and you're basically saying you think they're wrong. So anyway, that's my best advice there. This is going to wrap up the end of this Q&A. Much more to follow. Thanks for watching. Please share this video and subscribe to my channel. And if you haven't yet, check out chrisbeatcancer.com. That's my website with tons of resources on nutrition and natural therapies for healing, as well as lots of survivor interviews, especially people who have use nutrition and natural therapy along with or instead of conventional therapies to heal.